it really is a real honor to be here at the JSE, having just launched Valterra Platinum. I think it's been an incredible journey over the last 12 months to get ourselves to this particular point, and really excited about the opportunity for us as being a leading PGM producer in Southern Africa, but importantly then selling and marketing our products on a global stage. And over the last 12 months, in terms of preparation for where we are today, we've really worked hard to set the business up for a sustainable and successful future, and really then sort of resharpened our focus on strategy. And so that really is premised on the fact that safety, the health and safety of every single Valterrian, as I said yesterday when we launched Valterra Platinum to our team members, is front and center of what we do. And so it's very clear that we wish to achieve zero harm. The next tenement of our strategy is focused around operational excellence. And that is really, not only it's extracting the value that we have from the endowment that we have, but really doing that in the most efficient and effective way. And that therefore linked back to ensuring that we operate sustainably in the lower half of the cost curve, and that we generate margins, cash flow margins, for us to be able to then distribute that back to shareholders. The next pillar and the third pillar of our strategy is really focused on maximizing the value from the assets that we have. And that's continuing to not only sustain our existing production that we have from Mogalakwena, from Amandelbult, from Mototolo, and from Unki, but also importantly continuing to realize the value from our downstream processing assets and really optimizing that. And so with the endowment that we have, we've certainly got options to be able to grow. And with the strategy, we're very clear. The role of Mogalakwena is our growth and our value option. We've got Amandelbult, which we see as a real ability to be able to generate cash for the business, given its pearl split and given its life of asset as well. And we'll continue to invest in Mototolo, Dubrochen, and then Unki as well as we look to the future. And so part of that value pillar of our strategy is focused on continuing with the Mogalakwena underground and continuing with that exploration to really just benefit to realize the value and the benefits from Mogalakwena in terms of its endowment, in terms of its rich ore grade, and in terms of our ability to be able to process it. We've then obviously, over the past 12 months, really worked at setting up the appropriate structures within the company for us to be successful from day one, and to transition away from Anglo American. And so the executive team that you see around the table and their teams are really a reflection of having the requisite skills and talents and experiences and an attitude that we require to be a successful company into the future. And then our last element is really around continuing to generate value from our marketing activities, not only the way that we sell our metals and realize their full value in our delivery to our customers, but also how we think through market development and continuing to progress new and diverse areas for us to be able to sell and market our product. And underpinned around all of that is sustainability. We fundamentally believe that decarbonization, the opportunities around the energy transition, continuing to support and co-create and benefit our local communities, either through our infrastructure investment or through our local supplier development programs or our local procurement projects, really then trying to uplift the communities who surround our operations. And then linked to that is then our ethical value chains, is really delivering on those ethical value chains, which is focused around not only the highest standards of environmental practice, but also then ensuring that we're able to, and meeting sort of global standards and benchmarks in terms of what needs to happen from a human rights perspective, or community engagement, or what we do in terms of transparency with host governments, linked back to our IRMA certification. And as you know, all 4 of our assets have been certified by IRMA. Mogalakwena and Amandelbult at OMA 50, and Mototolo and Unki at OMA 75. And so we'll continue with those ethical value chains. And so that's really who we are. And then underpinning all of that is really then that capital discipline, and really being focused around generating returns for our shareholders. And as we've been demerged from the group, we've maintained that 40% base dividend that we will, of headline earnings that we'll pay to shareholders, and any additional cash that we generate, we'll look to return that back to shareholders after we've invested in some of those options that I've spoken about at Mogalakwena. And that's our story. That's who we are. We're very much a leading PGM producer. As I've said over the last couple of days, and I can't remember if I said it downstairs or if I said it yesterday to our staff, the opportunities in front of us are exciting. We do believe in the fundamentals for the PGM market and the outlook, and as a consequence of that, the opportunity in our future is now in our hands, and we're absolutely determined to make a success of it.